The thing about USL, I feel like USL has the ability to really sign like a star and start building around the league in their prime. Like, I think that's going to be the main key for them. If they could sign a player in their prime to come from Europe into USL, that's going to be a game changer. The USL is going through some interesting changes, putting promotion and relegation into the league. Is this the chance for USL to become better than MLS?
I love it, dude. I'm such a pro-rel truther, and this is where I get to finally be a European snob and be like, I was right the whole time, you guys. Like, I think USL have absolutely smashed it. They've got the time in the soccer landscape and the space where they can afford to take their time, piece it together, and build what could be a far more sustainable league that looks like a European model. And that's dope. That's the way football is.
For sure, for sure. I think USL teams have done a great job of being able to develop young players. Like, you've seen with Orange County, they've been selling players abroad. I think also Louisville City sold Joshua Winder to Benfica, who also made his debut at center back for them, I think a couple weeks ago. So you're starting to see the process of USL teams also becoming valuable to European clubs and being able to buy talent at a less price compared to MLS. What's the point of buying a player for $3 million in MLS who's 17 or 18 years old when you can buy a kid for $200K in USL who might have the same amount of potential and has probably played more professional minutes? So that's another big thing as well.
You know what's crazy? I was talking to someone from FC Tulsa the other day, and he was saying he was having a conversation with his boy at Benfica like 2 years ago. And the guy at Benfica, knew every USL team, every USL player, was just so tapped in. And I think it's awesome. This is the way that the USL has to function in the global landscape. And then people are going to start caring. I mean, what are you saying?
Yeah, I mean, obviously pro-rel, everyone wants to see it. And I think it's going to be amazing when it's implemented. But yeah, as you were saying, I think it's another place for players to develop in the US, for teams to build out facilities, start academies. I think it's only going to be a good thing for soccer in the US. And yeah, I'm a person who's pro fans, pro players. It's going to get more players the opportunity to get paid in America, which is amazing as well, and make soccer a full-time job for these
kids
guys.
Some bread, bro. I know some guys in USL working a second job, bro. It's crazy. No joke out here,
That's
bro.
Crazy. Part of that is the football romantic in me as well. It's kind of like when a Premier League team goes and plays a non-league team. Do you know what I mean? It's like they're playing against a bunch of guys who are factory workers midweek, which is kind of charming. But then when it comes to actual professional soccer, it's maybe you shouldn't have to be a fishmonger or something. I don't know why fishmonger.
Fishmonger.
I don't know why fishmonger.
Bro, that sounds like some 1700s job that I would probably get or some. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, another thing I'm excited for, bro, my mom, she said that one of the reasons why she doesn't like MLS is the reason she doesn't like that they bring too many old foreign guys to the league. You know what I'm saying? I think that's honestly something that USL could actually benefit from, because I'm looking at LAFC, for example, bring Olivier Giroud, this 37-year-old striker, and he's struggling. I'm seeing Marco Reus lose 7-0 away in New York Red Bulls. And I'm like, bro, this is the way you're ending your career, my guy? The thing about USL, I feel like USL has the ability to really sign a star and start building around the league in their prime. I think that's going to be the main key for them. If they could sign a player in their prime to come from Europe into USL, that's going to be a game changer.
That's going to be the first big move. That's how I think we're going to know when it's legit, right? When someone from Europe makes a decision, like you said, in the peak of their career, or maybe a little bit towards the end, but you know what I mean? When they've still got a lot of football left, to come over and be no, I want to play in USL. Not MLS, because I see this as a growing community. One thing I'm also super gassed about, and I know this is funny because I'm going to ask you this while you're wearing a Cincinnati jersey, but fan communities around USL, man. These clubs have done such a good job of building brands and getting people gassed about it.
100%. I mean, your shirt is the perfect example.
Oh yeah,
this is one of the best brands maybe in all of US soccer. At least it has the potential to be, at least from what I've seen with their marketing. But yeah, Cincinnati, for example, we started in the USL. That's the reason we got into MLS, is because we first became a USL club. So we know that sort of starting point, right? Building our community from the ground up in the technically smaller league in US soccer. And we played in the US Open Cup. We made the run. We beat MLS teams as a USL team. And, obviously MLS was the goal, because USL, there wasn't really a future in it back then, right? Now that there's promotion relegation, I think you're going to have these teams who once were in the league with the goal of, we want to be in MLS one day. I think that's changed. I think they're happy with where they are. And you see a lot of teams buying into USL League 2, USL League 1 in, hopes of relegation is now coming, promotion and relegation. So you're going to see teams want to stay in this league, and it's only going to grow from there.
I got to ask you, you're a Cincinnati fan, as if we haven't drilled that point home enough. But do you really think that like being part of the USL helped you guys grow a brand? Like, is there now more of a sense of like club, like history and camaraderie and that kind of thing, because that's where you guys started?
For sure. I feel like I actually had the pleasure of playing FC Cincinnati when I was academy kid at Philadelphia Union.
Yeah.
I was playing for Bethlehem Steel, and we played at FC Cincinnati, and that was one of the best places to play at. Because imagine you're 16 years old, you're playing in a stadium where it's 10K fans. Like FC Cincinnati had fans in USL, and it carried over into MLS. So now you're going to see a scenario where maybe these USL teams aren't taking that offer to go to MLS. They're able to grow this community, and they're able to go have promotion and relegation, have more money and more resources to grow the club.
Do you know what the
right in USL?
Do you know what the crazy thing is as well? San Diego FC, right? There was a $500 million expansion fee to be in. Like literally, you just had to put down $500 million
to be an MLS team,
to be in the team, or to be in the league, which is mad. USL. Look, I'm not a financial expert here, like journalist in New York. Like I'm not, but like. It's not as expensive.
Nah, it's not.
There is a fee, but it's nothing. It's nothing
around 500 mil, bro.
No.
If you paying 500 mil, better be paying for all of USL, bro. I'm ready to get the whole damn league, bro.
But that's what's so dope is that you can it's the Wrexham story, bro. Like you can start by paying not that much money, quote unquote, more money than I'll ever see in my lifetime. But then build it into a big thing. That's awesome. That's the dream.
That's the dream.
Facts.
That's the thing with soccer as well that we don't talk about enough, right? People are trying to win stuff all the time, right? Like Liverpool, like they're trying to, win the league, get in the Champions League, whatever. The best part of being a football fan is the journey.
Oh, for sure.
Is the journey.
And
is avoiding, literally, we were talking to Bradley Wright Phillips, weren't we? Avoiding relegation is like the coolest thing you can do in football.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's going to be even better too, because we've seen the Wrexham documentary, how much that brought awareness to the club. Imagine now USL teams are starting documentaries talking about their journey climbing through the leagues.
I need to know about Greenville Triumph.
Exactly. So now it's going to be a lot easier for people to watch the games and be fans of it, because they're seeing documentaries about a real club trying to come from the bottom, trying to go to the top. You know what I'm saying?
Portland Hearts of Pine are doing that. They're making a doc.
But I
feel like you have to at this point if you're starting out, right?
Like if you're going to have promotion and relegation, bro, you better be out here telling the story. Yeah. Like you have to, because it benefited Wrexham so much. If you want Americans to really tap into soccer and the sport and to see how promotion and relegation is beneficial, you as a USL club have to create storytelling around it to grow the brand. It's a necessity.
All right, so last question for both of you guys. Can it be bigger or better than MLS at some point?
I think it's a tricky one because, MLS is a closed league, right? Yeah. So you don't have to worry about relegation. Now clubs, I think in USL, are going to have to worry about financial struggles, right? You don't see that in MLS. There will be teams who fail, 100%. There will be teams who are at the top, who are in USL right now, who think they have it made. And once promotion and relegation happens, they're only going to benefit. No, there will be teams who probably, maybe Portland doesn't make it. I hope that's not the case, but it is a very real possibility for sure.
Need to stay alive for as long as possible, bro.
For sure. Yeah. I think, but I feel like at the same time, I feel like MLS is going to do something about it.
100%.
I don't know what they have under their sleeve, but
they have something.
The soccer Don Garber don't play, bro. He don't play. He got something up the sleeve.
Is there room for both though? I don't know.
Dude, that's the crazy question, because no other league,
no other country has 2 first division leagues.
Yeah. America would be the one to do it, though. America would be the one to make it work.
We always have to go against the grain. Football, we're going to call it soccer. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we have promotion and relegation? Nah, we have 2 separate leagues. One does, one doesn't.
Dude, but if there ever was a country, and oh my God, I'm going to say something pro-American, this is the one that can pull it off because it's so big. It's so big. Why not? Why not have your league for the OG old American soccer fans? You're well, then again, you're an expansion franchise, but you know what I mean? Your DC Uniteds, your LA Galaxies, all of those lot, and then have one that is going to start for the hipsters. And then move into a bigger thing.
Facts.
I think they can coexist. Now, 10 years from now, does one buy the other? Do they merge? That would be sick. But for now, bro, enjoy the ride.